our house. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with a relatively square room that has really defined dimensions. So I'm going to start, excuse me, with the master bedroom. It's 14 feet 0 inches by 12 feet 6 inches. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here approximately with enough room that I can do everything to the left of it. And I'm going to choose the rectangle tool, which we haven't used before. And I'm going to start my rectangle tool and start drawing it up. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to type in, actually, it didn't show up. If you right click down here, you can get those values to show up if you can't see them. All right, so I drew out my square and I'm going to start typing in my dimensions. So it's 14 feet. So I'm going to do feet by using the apostrophe, and then I'm going to do a comma, space, and 12 feet, space, 6, and then the quotations. And well, I didn't want to do that. Sorry. All right, let's try that again. So 14 feet, comma, and we'll do 12 feet, 6 inches. And that's not wanting to do that. All right, well, let's try 14 feet, 12.5 feet. Okay, it should work usually when you do that, so I'm not really sure what the deal is, but 12.5 feet gives us that 12 feet 6 inches. Make sure that you are not doing 12.6 or 12, if it's 12 feet 8 inches, that you're not doing the 12.8, because 8 inches, to do 8 over 12 to get that decimal, so it's not 12.8. All right, so now I'm going to get my tape measure tool. We need to make sure that we have marked around this room all of the walls. We have to allot for those black lines. So since all the walls around our house are 4.5 inches thick, then I'm going to start and do 4.5 on, on every edge. All right, so now we have those marked. And then I'm going to go back here, and we have our bathroom, which is 8 feet by 9 feet and 10 inches. So I'm going to get my rectangle tool, and actually I'm going to make sure that we have lines coming up that go straight up, so that we can also make sure that we have them lined up with each other. Okay, so because these rooms are going to end up, they're going to need to line up with each other. So now we have lines for our walls, and we're going to go ahead and grab, I'm just going to go ahead and grab my line tool, and I'm going to go up 9 feet 2 inches, and then go over 8 feet. Actually, that looks really wide. All right, it's okay. 9 feet. I can go all the way down here and then just connect these. So this is going to be our bathroom. Okay. We do see that there's a 3 foot by 5 foot custom shower. So we're going to add that on and then end up erasing the line. So right here, I'm going to go up 5 feet. Oops, not 5 inches. Let's see. Make sure. Okay, so it's got to go up 3. So we're going to start here. We're going to go up 3 feet and over 5 feet. So make sure that you're putting the apostrophe. Okay, and then we'll go ahead and delete that line. All right, and then we need our tape measure tool so that we can show 4.5, 4.5, 4.5, and this gives us all our wall fixes. And then make sure that we have all those laid out just in case anything else is supposed to match up with it. Okay, so now we have our closet. So it's 6 feet by 9 foot 10 inches. So actually, I'm wondering if, let's see if that 9 feet 10 inches includes the shower. It does. All right, my bad. So this should not be there. We're going to have to cut it out on the bottom end. So we're going to do 9 feet 10 inches. And we're going to go over 5 feet and then go down 3 feet and then go over until get there. Okay, so let's go ahead and We're going to go ahead and do our 4.5-inch walls again. Okay, and we're going to erase this one because it ended up going up too tall. Okay, so now we have kind of the cutout that we need for the HVAC, because that's the area that we need for our heater and ventilation, air conditioning, which kind of goes into our closet a little bit. So we know that our closet is the same depth as the bathroom, 9 feet 10 inches. So we're going to go ahead and draw a line here and figure out how, let's see how wide this goes over. Okay, and then we're going to grab this, and that goes over like 1 foot 4 3/16 of an inch. So we'll just call it 1 foot 4 inches. Okay, and so we're gonna go from this is where our inside wall is gonna be. We're gonna come up here, and we're gonna go over 1 foot 4 inches. All right, and then we're gonna go up to that same depth that we have with the bathroom. Come down here. There we go. All right, so this is our closet, and then we can use our tape measure tool and show where okay, we're going to do 4.5 again. So now we can use our line tool to just connect the dots over here, and that's our HVAC room. All right, so we have this area here. Our laundry room up here has like a little closet in it. So what we're going to do is we're going to do our laundry room. It's 6 feet 8 inches long. Let's double check that. So we'll just, it says it's 6 feet 8 inches. That looks like 6'4", but we'll just go by what it tells us on there. So let's go ahead and we'll go from here over. Oops, we don't have that marked. There we go. So we're going to come here, connect it over here, and then up here, we know it's going to be 6 feet 8 inches. And then we'll go back all the way over here. And there we go. But we do have to make that cutout for our laundry room clip. And let's see how wide that is. Okay, so we'll say 3 feet 8 inches wide. And then we also need to know how deep it is. So let's go from here to here. And we'll go ahead. All right, so it's about 1 feet 8 inches deep. All right. So we'll need our tape measure tool to make sure that we have, so it's going to use that same wall, but we are going to be coming over. So we'll use our tape measure tool, and we'll go 1 foot 8 inches, and then 3 feet 8 inches, and we'll go ahead and mark that off. Okay, and then we're going to have to go ahead and make our 4.5-inch walls going out from there. So we're going to do 4.5 and 4.5, and we're going to go from here down here to over there, and then we're going to delete those lines. All right, so now we have this. I'm going to go ahead and stop this video, and you're just going to keep building on like that. So what I would do here is I'm going to go ahead and delete some of these because they're not necessary, but I am going to go ahead and make another one that comes out. Oops, not that. Tape measure tool. Make sure that that's coming out because we're going to need those lined up over here. We're not going to need this anymore. We won't need these anymore, just to kind of clean it up a bit. All right, then we're also going to want our 4.5-inch wall marking out there. All right, and as we keep building on, so our dining room is going to go over 17 feet 8 inches. So I'm going to go ahead and start here at this intersection, and I'm going to do 17 feet 8 inches. Okay, and then I'm just going to go down all the way down here and make my rectangle for that great room / kitchen. All right, and then I can add on my 4.5 line there, and I shouldn't have to line anything up over there. And so now I'm just going to be making the bedrooms. Now we are going to have to measure the closets because I believe that the 12 feet is probably from, the 12 feet is to the closet itself. And so we're going to have to find out how deep the closets are. But you're just going to keep adding on like that, and I will start another video in a bit that goes over how to make the final walls. All right, so hopefully that makes that clear.